We are here. We're live. Sorry about some things that happened behind the scenes, but we're here. We're live. We're in action. Apologize about that, but let me go ahead and officially get the show started off. Let's do it, Alan Alford. Yes, indeed. We're in the house. This is Alan from the Alan Alpha Sports Talk Show. And the nice thing is, we're doing it big. We're doing it real big here on the Alan Alpha Sports Talk Show live. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring you in. We're going to bring you in the post game. When the game ends, we had a little bit of things that happened, Yes, so let me just make sure we do that. Let me go ahead and adjust this here. Side the presser a bit later. We had a little bit of a delay today because Artemis, the game got delayed and I moved the show back a little bit because I wanted to coincide with the presser. So we have a lot going on. I got the game going on here, and we're gonna bring it. We're gonna bring you into the post game. It's been a tie game 2020. It's been going. Both teams are not giving up. They're kind of fighting. They kind of clawing and fighting and doing what they can to make sure they win this game. I knew I told you guys this was going to be a tough game. When you play opponent a second time, especially playing an opponent the second time in, let's say, a week. Well, see, tonight's Friday. They played last Saturday. Yeah, we kind of knew that it was going to be a tough game. I knew that it was going to be a tough game. It's hard to beat a team twice, and now you're playing them twice within a week. So the Kings, is not like they were like blown out. I felt like they were going to be a tough competitor, and today is proof of that. In fact, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and talk a little. Let me see here. Show this off. Yeah, live show. That's right. The live chat is available too. Feel free to chime in via chat. Let me tell all those people there. Let them know that we're on live. We're on live on all social media platforms. And I don't know why is it showing that. Okay, good. Good. Let me make sure I'm in frame here for everybody on Instagram. How you doing, Instagram? Let me make sure I'm in frame. Yes, so letting everybody know we're live right now. Good job, Alternative Football Network. Alternative Football Network. Major props to you. Major props. Yes, we're live and in charge here. We're live. Apologize about the slow start, but it's okay because there's a little under 14 minutes to go in the game. And, both teams are being tested today. I'm saying if I told you once, I told you twice, I told you multiple times, this game, game 3, was going to be a tight game and a very tough game on both sides. The King side and the Orlando side. And today it proves that 2020. Bean is in there. So a little over 13 minutes left in the game. They're doing a blitz. Bean is rolling out, throwing the ball, incomplete. Incomplete. So let me just do something here. Let me give you some Major League Baseball news. Let me do that for you guys. And the Major League Baseball news that we have here is it's about one guy in Major League Baseball, and his name is CB Bucknor. CB Bucknor. Let me just make sure here. Okay. What I'm going to say about this situation here with CB Bucknor is, first and foremost, as you can tell, I'm part of the black and brown community. I don't usually like to, I know that we don't get too many opportunities in baseball, Major League Baseball, especially being the head umpire like CB Bucknor. But I have to be fair in my assessment here. That's the duty you have when you have the Alford Sports Talk show. Tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God. And that's what we're going to do here on the Alford Sports Talk show. After looking at this over the last couple of years, now that you have the ABS system in place, quite frankly, I think it's time for not only for CB Bucknor to go, but I think it's time for CB Bucknor to look himself in the mirror and do the right thing and say, you know what? My time is up. My time is up. At 63 years old, I feel as if a few things are going on with CB Bucknor. Number one, when you get older in age, your eyesight does not improve. It declines. I feel as if he just calls balls and strikes on just feeling more than seeing. He doesn't see the ball as well as he should, and he's just kind of going by kind of like an area. If the ball's in this area, he's going to call it. If he feels if it's a strike, he's going to call it. Rather than if the ball actually looks, he looks and sees if it's going to go ball or strike. For example, when I used to ride a motorcycle, one of the things which was genius that they told me to do when I used to ride a motorcycle was make sure you turn your head either to the right or left before you change lanes. So don't just look over your shoulder or look in the rearview mirror. Actually physically turn your head to make sure nobody's in the next lane. Physically turn your head to make sure nobody's in the next lane when you're changing lanes riding a motorcycle, because your mirror may not see it. By you turning your head, you'll get a better angle of what's going on over your shoulder because you're actually turning your head. To this day, I even use that in the car. I turn my head. I look at the mirrors, but I also turn my head just to make sure it's an extra layer of safety. And what it is you're actually turning your head to where the action is. You understand? You're turning your head. He kind of goes by feel, his gut, not by what the true strike zone is. And then I feel as if this is what's happening. Now he's lost control of the ego. I feel as if this is a strike. I'm going to call a strike, and you don't really have a say in it. Well, the ego game is gone now because you have ABS system. It's not really up to you. Quite frankly, the umpire job has really been diminished by the ABS system because it's going to go by that box and whether you were in the box or not. Because if not, you understand? All offensive or defensive player has to do. Touchdown, by the way, Storm by Hamler, CJ Hamler. Pass in the middle of field, makes a beautiful catch, diving catch, basket catch. This guy right here, Willie Mays Hayes. Outstanding, CJ Hamler. Touchdown, 26-20, Orlando. Still 11 minutes and 53 seconds left in the game. So CB Bucknor, he's going by gut. I feel as if what I'm seeing is his eyesight has declined now, where he doesn't really have good vision and good feel of what the strike zone is. Balls that are low, that are maybe catching the zone, he's calling a ball. Balls that are low in the zone, he's calling a strike. And now because of the ABS system, you could tell they're just taking away his confidence. Another thing I think is happening with CB Bucknor is now that he sees how this ABS system is going on for a few days now, and he's losing the battle against this ABS system, he's at a point where now he's frustrated, letting the employer know at MLB he's frustrated, and basically saying, I don't care. I'm PO'd, and I'm just going to call whatever I call. Because the play on first base where he called the guy out saying he missed the bag, and he clearly stepped on the bag. And the reason why he missed it, because he wasn't even looking at the bag. He wasn't looking where the action was going. He was going by his gut, and he's like, screw it. I think he's frustrated. He's upset. He can't, when somebody is on an ego trip, it really messes up their mind and their head when they have a straight ego, and now they can't flex their ego anymore. They're so used to flexing it. Now they can't flex it because the ABS system is going to call a strike or ball, whether you got it right or wrong. And more often than not, we've seen it's been almost flawless overturns with CB Bucknor. So I think what CB Bucknor needs to do is just look at himself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm not meeting the standard for myself. I'm not meeting the standard for Major League Baseball. My heart's not into this anymore because I could clearly tell he's PO'd. He's kind of like a disgruntled employee. Just do the right thing and it's time for you to just pack it up. I know that they can't probably fire you. It's hard for them to fire you, but this is just bad for the black and brown community. It's bad for umpires because it just makes you look bad. The profession. Now you're upset and you're mad. You're just calling whatever, knowing it's not really what the right call is, just because you're a disgruntled employee. And that's why I see CB Bucknor. He doesn't want to get fired because he's flexing his ego there too, because he knows that they can't just fire him. He's part of the union. And he doesn't want to quit and retire, that is, because he's getting paid to make bad calls. So he become, what most people would see as a disgruntled employee. I think it's just time for him to look himself in the mirror and just say, you know what, I'm not holding up the standard to what my quality of a referee or umpire is, and I'm denigrating the game the longer I stick around. It's time for you to call it a wrap, man. That's the most honorable thing to do. Because it's like you just don't care. Like now you just like not even looking at the ball, the play, and you're just like, he's safe, he's out. Not even looking at where the ball, all the play is, not even playing it off anymore. I think this is a bad situation for Major League Baseball. I definitely do think they need to readjust how this goes into play with the ABS system into play, how umpires, how much leverage they have, how much they don't have, because this just bad for Major League Baseball, the decorum of the sport. It's that egregious that call after call after call. And now, like I said, I think he's just disgruntled. He don't care. He's PO'd and like, well, I can't flex my ego, so I'm just gonna call whatever. It's just bad. He called a guy out at first. You didn't even look at the play. I think he missed it. He's out. Thank goodness for replay, because now they could just replay it and get it right. Imagine how it was before replay. You just take this guy's word for it, and he's missing 3-4 inches off the plate, 3-4 inches low, 3-4 inches high, off the plate, left, right. As much I don't really want to talk bad about somebody who's gotten an opportunity, especially being a head umpire. It just cringes me that it's just gotten to this point. It's time for CB Bucknor to say, you know what, be the bigger man and say, it's time for me to walk away. Because, again, I don't think he knows any clue of what really is a strike. He's been doing it for so long that he just doesn't know. He's given 3-4 inches off the plate, low. He's confused himself, I think. But yes, CJ Hamler, 27-20, 11 minutes and 33 seconds. 30 seconds, I should say now. 27-20, still a close game. As of right now, if they're able to hold off the Storm right now, I'm covering the two number one in the league, 2-0, the Renegades and the Orlando Storm. That has never happened in the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show history, but I'm glad that we're setting history. You guys are awesome, man. I really appreciate you all. And I'm going to talk more. Let me just make sure here. Let me just check something here for you guys. Yeah. We're back, baby. We're back. Okay, 2nd and 8. Bean throws it deep. He completes it around the 50 to the tight end. He laterals it to number 26. Gets another about 4 or 5 yards. Big game for Louisville. So, yes. So, it actually worked out pretty good that I didn't start actually at 10 because I'm going to be brought to this press conference and you still got well over 10 minutes to go in the game. The game got delayed for you who joined in late because of the shuttle Artemis. They were making sure the landing was good. Praise the Lord. The landing was safe. I was a little worried at the beginning when it was descending because I couldn't see all the parachutes open wide. I saw 2 of them, but it didn't seem like they were fully open and engaged as it started to descend for some while. Then it finally opened up, 2 of them. I was like, oh, that's good. And then a third one opened up, and they were all open up perfectly. I said, okay, they're good. They're good. Because that thing is dropping fast. It doesn't look fast on TV, but I know it's dropping miles per second. So just under 10 minutes ago, man in motion. They're at the 36-yard line. Bean looking for a target. Running out of the pocket, throws it out of bounds. Going to be 2nd and 10 coming up. So, yes. And so CB Bucknor, in conclusion, it's time. It's time. It's time to move on. You know, you probably made a ton of money umpiring for the major leagues for as many years. But I think it's a wrap. Or maybe move from behind the plate. Maybe move to a bag or something. Maybe even a bag. You're not watching the play, but that might be a better move because you get less options. Bean runs out of bounds, gets about to the back to the line of scrimmage. It's gonna be 3rd down. CB Bucknor, it's time to hold it up, man. I say it with all due respect. The longer that goes on, the more you're embarrassing yourself. That's all I'm gonna say, especially with that ABS system. That's gonna be a long season for my man CB Bucknor if he decides to stick around. It'll be a long season. Hands it off to 26, gets about 2 yards. Gonna be well short of the 1st down. Stopped by Beckett. So let me go ahead and give some shout outs. Let me just let me give some shout outs here. Big time shout out to Road to Halftime. Big time shout out to all the artists that did the interview on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. That's fantastic, man. That was really, really cool. 4th and 7, flag on a play. Let's see what this is. I think it's going to be a false start. Let's see. Delay a game offense. So since they can't punt within the 50, it's going to be like a 4th and 12 now. 4th and 12. Delay of game. You know, this is kind of what's been happening with Louisville. They don't have a poor team, but what's happening with them is they're making these like mental mistakes at the worst time. Here we go, 4th and 12. Bean looking for a target, throws it deep. Incomplete. So Orlando's going to take over in downs. The target was Jackson. It was a little high, and he was double covered too. 7 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. 27-20 is the score. See how we do it here on the Allen Alford Sports Show? We bring you everything. Play-by-play. UFL. Shout out to Road to Halftime. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. That was awesome. Let me just take a look here. Commercial break. Nice. DJ Khaled. We the best. Let me see here. And let me show you this thing here too. Let me pull this up here for you guys. Let me pull this up here. Give me one moment. All right. Let's see here. 1 second. Okay. Okay, so that's the nice thing is right there. That's what it is. Second here. Here we go. So congratulations to Thaddeus Bullard, aka Titus O'Neil. He is now the AMI Kids National Spokesperson. Congratulations to Titus O'Neil. He is a former guest here on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Passes thrown is incomplete. And AMI Kids, they sent the press release to yours truly, Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. And there we go. We're spreading it to you guys. Congratulations to national spokesperson, former WWE wrestler, Titus O'Neil, a.k.a. Thaddeus Bullard, on that major, major accomplishment. Big time. And thank you to AMI Kids for sending the press release to the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Major props to them on that. That was really cool. And definitely that was awesome. Let me also pull up some other cool things that happened this week. Nice. Major props to Louisville Kings. Mac Brown came over and said hi to me at the end of beginning of game two, I should say. Beginning of game two. Punter Mac Brown covered him since the Orlando Guardians. So he's been in the league for a while. Shout out to Mac Brown. Really appreciate you. And it's big time. Big time. Got to give props to the performer week one, DJ Khaled. We the best. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind. I can never get enough. Props to DJ Khaled. Props to DJ Khaled. Definitely major props to DJ Khaled. And so we got a little over 7 minutes to go. We go ahead and It's a sack. Gill with the sack. So the game's not over yet. 7 minutes to go. Jack Plummer just took a sack here. And also, I did want to mention too. Let me also bring that up to you guys. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind. I can never get enough. Let me go ahead and show you that right there. OKC in 2028. Jack Plummer throws it away. It's going to be 3rd and 24 coming up. 6 minutes and 27 seconds left in the game. And the clock is still ticking, even though he threw it away. OKC 2028. This made my day when I saw this. This was yesterday. They released this. I think this is an outstanding move by the UFL in a beautiful, brand new soccer stadium. I think this is big because what I love about this move is a lot of things. Number one, they go into a city that I feel first and foremost that the UFL is going to be wanted in OKC. That's Oklahoma City. Fans are going to they love football in Oklahoma City. This is big because you want to go if you're the UFL where you're wanted. Not just because you want to expand. You want to go where you're wanted. First and foremost, where can I go and fans will come out to support the league? If you're not a place where fans will come out to support your league, even if it sounds like a sexy city or town, don't go if you're the UFL. They made a great move by going in here in OKC in 2028. Second thing I love about it is they're going into a city where the NFL is not. That's another bonus. Third thing I love about it, they're going to be playing in a beautiful soccer stadium, not as big, more intimate. They still kept that smaller, more intimate theme. I think that's the pocket the UFL needs to stay in. Stay in the soccer stadiums, stay in smaller venues because it just doesn't look good on TV if you have 10,000 fans in a 30 plus thousand seated arena. How do I know this? Because I lived it. The Rays. The Rays might have 7,000 people at the game, but it looks bare as bones because the stadium holds over 30,000. So it looks really almost empty. You take the same 7,000 and you put it in a smaller stadium. Now it's more full, more energy, more compact, looks a lot better on TV. The Rays also did that because of the roof being blown down. They rented Georgetown Meadow Field, which is a very, very nice baseball stadium, but it is it's built for spring training. It seats a little over 11,000 people. Every game looked so awesome because it looked almost full almost every game, and they did well. They were almost picked off. So outstanding move by Mike Rapoli and crew. OKC 2028. Go where you're wanted if you're the UFL. A couple of things. I do think if the Houston Gamblers, if you guys are going to start playing games, Ludacris came out there, you didn't come out and support big time. If you're going to start giving this low attendance in Houston, Roughnecks was number one. Now the Gamblers, if you're going to keep playing these games, it's going to be bye, 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 bye. You're going to sing Blackstreet Boys because I'm telling you right now, if I'm Mike Rapoli and you see how the season plays out, they start doing this bull junk. We're not showing up. I would say, peace. See you later. Because that's what you got to do in this league at this point. You can't keep, spinning your wheels where they're not going to support you. They're not going to support you. That's fine. Peace. See you later. You know, that's what you got to do. So if you guys in Houston want to play games with the Gamblers, you want to gamble, you don't want to show up when Ludacris is there, bye bye, and don't complain to me at all. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. That's what I'm gonna tell you when they left. Cry me a river. You had a chance to show up. Do something about it. Straight up. Do something. Let me just here we go. Yeah. So that's what you got to do. You got to show up. You got to support. You know, you got to support. And I know that they're not the only place with low attendance, but this is now going on what almost 4 seasons now. You had the Roughnecks, they changed the Gamblers, same thing, same bat channel, same bat theme. I mean, it looked real bare when Ludacris was there. So we'll see, but I think that's what they need to do. They need to go where you're needed, go where you want it, go where you want it. So we're at 2 minutes, a little under 2 minutes and 25 seconds. They're at the 43-yard line. The Kings have the ball. Bean is looking for a target, throws it incomplete. Target was Trey McKinney, I beg your pardon. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's going to probably bring it down to a 2-minute warning. Now, the interesting thing is when it's under 5 minutes, the clock still keeps ticking, even when it's incomplete pass. It'll bring it down to the 2-minute warning. Shout out to Louisville. Louisville, the attendance has been strong. Shout out to them, man. That's what you need to do, just like Louisville. I know that they're still trying to, get that first win or what have you, but the attendance has been strong. And shout out to Louisville. That's what you need to do. The UFL just needs to go where you want it. If you don't want us, okay, that's no problem. Pack up shop and leave. That's it. That's it. Very simple. I think the OKC move was a fantastic. I think that's just beautiful that they was able to go ahead and find an option for 2028, which means the league is going to be around. And with Mike Rapoli and the ownership team, they doing big things. They ain't giving up. They're not giving up. I love it. And at the conclusion of this game, we're going to bring you into the press conference. And let me just. What question you guys want me to ask? Okay, how about that? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. What question you want me to ask? Let me, in fact, get that my sheet here together. Whoops. Let me just get my sheet here together. Yes. So the conclusion of this game, we're going to bring you right into the press conference here. Post-game conference only on the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show. Yes. Let's see here. Let me just get this thing here. Let me just get this here. 2-minute warning, 27-20, but the Kings are driving. Okay. Shout out to Assist Sports. This is what I do for Assist Sports. Do play-by-play. It's there at the 43-yard line. Looking for a target. It's caught. Spins. He gets the first down. Can't see who that is. Jackson. Yeah, Jason Bean has been playing well today. He's 21 out of 41, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. First and 10, throwing it deep. Over the middle, he had the target. He dropped it. He had McKinney. We just watch this play. You got to try to catch that ball. I know it is a little bit out of reach, but man, you want to make it to the NFL, you got to show them you can make those catches. I think he held up a little bit because of the guys that were coming in converging on him. It's not an easy catch, but it's a catchable ball, is where I would say it. All right, so they're at the 32. Bean is looking for a target. Scrambling around, throws it deep. Has a target, and he caught it. This at the 6-yard line. First and goal. Davidson with the catch. This game ain't over yet, folks. Hold the phone. It's not over yet. Not over yet. 27-yard gain. First and goal. They're at the 6-yard line. Bean, he's looking for a target. Throws it. Incomplete. Incomplete. A little bit behind them. You know, Bean has been good, but he's been a little bit off target. Not bad off target, but it's been a little bit like throwing the ball a little bit behind the guy, throwing a little too high. All right, the 6-yard line. Bean is looking for a target. Looking for a target. Throws a float in the end zone. Overthrows it. Incomplete. It's going to be third and goal. Too much mustard on it. That's what I was just saying. Like, it's just either a little too much, a little too high, a little behind the guy, just a little too much of everything. 76 scat Reno on 1. 76 scat Reno on 1 is the play. Okay. 6-yard line. Bean is in the shotgun formation. Number 14 is in motion. Third and goal. Looking for a target. Looking for a target. Throws it. Complete. Touchdown, Kings. Touchdown, Kings. Zach Davidson. Touchdown, Kings. Hold the phone. Do you go for 1 to tie it, or you go for 2 for the lead? If I'm the coach, I'm saying go for 2. Go for 2. I'm saying it like that. I'm saying go for 2 because you gotta no risk it, no biscuit. No, he's going for the field goal. He calling a timeout. All right, they're challenging it. They're challenging it. The ruling on the play for the touchdown. That's right. In this league here, you can challenge anything. They're going to review defensive holding. Dean Blandino's on the prowl looking. No foul for holding. It's going to be confirmed. So Orlando now is down to 1 timeout because of that failed challenge. That's tough because you needed that timeout with just a little over a minute to go. They're going to go ahead and go for the tie. 49 is out there to kick the field goal, kick the extra point, I should say. Let's see if he makes it. This is to tie the game. Kick is up. Ties it up. Tie game, 27-27. Minute and 6 seconds left. Who's going to win the game, folks? Let me just make sure this. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have it like this because the thing about it is on the Instagram thing, you still stay in frame where, let me see. Yeah. Jason Bean seemed like he going to win this job tonight. Nobody wanted it. Shout out to Quasar Raza. Quasar Raza, all the way from. That's fantastic. Just give me 1 second here. Quasar Raza, all the way from Pakistan. All the way from Pakistan. We got people joining us from Pakistan, folks. That's right. Quasar Raza, all the way from Pakistan. Really appreciate you. In fact, let me get my man. All the way from Pakistan. All right, so we have the Storm is taking over exactly 1 minute left in the game. They're at the 29-yard line. Shotgun formation for Plummer. Plummer looking for a target. Throws it. Incomplete. No flag. Look, he was being held, but no flag on the play. No flag on the play. Yes. That losing that challenge is big because you lost a timeout. 55 seconds to go. They just got to get in field goal range here. 2nd and 10. Timeout, Louisville. Each team. Yes, that's right. The Storm did miss a field goal early in the game. Yeah, let's see what they do here. All right. 55 seconds. Jake Plummer, shotgun formation, throws it, outlet pass complete, gets a short gain about 7 yards. So number 85. It's going to be third down about 3 or 4. Third down and 6. I beg your pardon. 51 seconds left. 51 seconds left. Let's see. 3rd and 6. Shotgun formation. Jake looking for Jack Plummer. I beg your pardon. Jack Plummer is looking for a target. Gets it complete. First down. 42-yard line. Jack Plummer's doing his thing. They spiked it on first down, so it's going to be 2nd and 10. They're roughly about 25-ish yards away from a field goal attempt. 45 seconds with 1 timeout, so they do have time to get it done. Now, keep in mind, Michael Lance, I beg your pardon, Michael Lance did miss one early in the game. It was a 27-yard, a real short kick. 2nd and 10. Clock will keep running. The short gain. Third and 12. Lost yards on that play. Going backwards. The clock is ticking. Clock is ticking. Fourth down. Call a timeout. You got to call a timeout. What are you waiting for? Call a timeout if you're Orlando. Why are you wasting like 6 seconds? Call your timeout. Louisville called a timeout? Reset the game clock to 13 seconds. They're going to punt the ball. That's what they're going to do. So more than likely, if anything changes, this game is going to go to overtime, folks. Oh, appreciate you. Appreciate you too, Quasar Raza. Hey, Alan, go Storm. That's right. This game is they're going to punt the ball, and they need to stop them. Special teams. Really appreciate you guys. Yusuf. Here we go. They punted it. Good punt. Catch it around the 4-yard line. It stops them at the 5-yard line. So there's 1 second left on the clock. Great punt, great coverage. This game's going to go into overtime unless something happens on this play with 1 second left. And remind you, I'm going to be bringing you post-game coverage whenever this game does end. Appreciate you, Yusuf. Really appreciate you. It'll be overtime. There we go. Yes, so let's see what the last play is, but it looks like it's going to go to overtime. Now, remember, overtime is a shootout. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If it holds up, it's going to be the first overtime game of the season. Yeah, start of overtime. That's right. All right, here we go. It's a coin toss. Let's see. Overtime shootout. Let's see who gets the ball first. Tails it is. Louisville won the toss, and they're going to receive the ball. They'll start at the 5-yard line. Yep, so basically it's a 5-yard line. The Louisville Kings are going to go first. They're going to try to score. If they don't, then Orlando gets a chance. All right. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. The live mini screen. Yeah, let me see if they'll let me do that. I have to check. it. That's a great idea. I would have to see if the UFL will be. I don't know if they'd be mad about it, but we'll see. Throws it incomplete. So do not convert. No points on the first try. Orlando will have a chance now. I'd have to check and see if they would be cool with it. That's actually a great point. As long because this is the TV broadcast I'm watching. It's not live per se because there is always a 7-second delay when you TV versus live action. I think they'll be okay with it. Maybe I should bring that up next time because I could bring it up on the screen here. Great idea, Quasar Raza. Here we go. Best of 3. Here comes the Orlando Storm. They're going to try it from the 5-yard line. Overtime shootout. Man in motion. Jack Plummer shotgun formation. Looking for a target. Throws it incomplete. Hamler incomplete. Both teams fail on their first initial shootout try from the 5. CJ Hamler. It's a little bit behind him. A little bit behind Hamler. All right, Louisville's coming out now for their second opportunity. Shootout, 5-yard line. Both teams missed on their first try. Shotgun formation for Bean. They blew the whistle. Let's see what the call is here. Orlando calls a timeout. First and final. That's the only timeout. Each team gets one timeout. Orlando's using their timeout. Best of 3 is their second attempt for the Kings. Devontae needs a pick. Yes. The Allen Alford Sports Center called it. We said it was going to be a tight, close second game. Third game of the season, but second time they're playing each other. I knew it. Here we go. Bean is in shotgun formation. Looking for a target. Throws it over the middle. Incomplete. Second attempt, no good. So now the Orlando Storm gets a chance. Here we go. Shotgun formation. Plummer. Corbin's in the backfield. 5-yard line. Second attempt. Man in motion. Hikes the ball. Looking for a target. Throws it over. Catches it, but he's going to be short. About 2 yards short of the unsuccessful. So 0 for 2 on both sides. Both teams 0 for 2. He caught the ball, but he was 2 yards. He caught it like at the 2-yard line, and he couldn't get in. They tackled him. This is it, the third and final opportunity for the Kings. Man, the ref is clapping him up like, you got to go. Let's see what they got. Bean, third opportunity, best of 3, and it's the last opportunity for the Kings. Bean looking, shotgun formation, no back in the backfield. He's going to run, throws it. Incomplete. Benny Snell out. He caught it, but they said he's out. Let's look at the feet. You only need 1 foot in. She got her eyes right on it. Yeah, he's on the line. He's on the line. Game of inches. Yeah, he's on the line. Good call by Randolph in the corner. So 0 for 3 for the Kings. This is it. Let's see, for the win for Orlando. This is it. Here we go. Throws it up. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. In the end zone. Flag on the play. They're going to call pass interference. Yes, they did. Ball's placed at the 1 yard line. They have one more shot at this. The Orlando Storm. We got a storm here tonight. You got to get your hands off of him. That's a flag. Yes, the ball's not caught, but you can't stop a guy's motion. He's right in front of the ref. They're at the 1 yard line now. One play. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? Let's see what the Orlando Storm does here. 1 yard line. They hand it off to Deshaun Corbin. He gets stopped. He's no good. Oh for 3 on both sides. Sudden death. So you get more than 3 opportunities in a way. You go to sudden death. Whoever scores first. Here we go. Kings going again. Under pressure. Incomplete. Here we go. Orlando Storm are going again. Let's see. Here we go. Orlando Storm, sudden death. Let's see what they do. Here we go. Sudden death. Orlando Storm. Hikes the ball. Looking for a target. Jack Plummer. I get the flag again. They're going to call defensive pass interference. They'll move the ball back up to the 1. The score is good. The Orlando's going to win this game. Let me get the official notice. Louisville had pass interference in the previous. By rule, the try is good, and the Orlando Storm go win the game. The first time in Alford. The game is over. The Orlando Storm wins the game. 3-0, folks. 3-0. 3-0. We're going to bring you to press conference. We're going to bring you into press conference. Try is good. Orlando wins. The game is over. Made the official announcement because there was pass interference on 2 of the plays by the Kings. By rule, the try is good. So they get credited for the points. Dean Blandino. Okay. Game is over. They dapping each other up. 29-27 is the final. Orlando wins. Orlando wins. Orlando wins. 2 fouls get you a score. The Kings had to score, and he's saying they didn't want to play forever, which makes sense. Here we go. All right, so let me. Okay, the previous play is sending you to. Okay. There we go. Let's give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second here. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Shut Louisville's offense out down here in the overtime period. What can you say about your defense? I mean, they definitely been doing great today, right? I mean, we got to clean up a lot of stuff. We're banged up today. We're running low. Okay, let me go ahead and bring this into that press conference. Camera. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Here we go. All right, we're going to bring you in the presser. We're going to bring you in the press conference. I did want to let you know that. Okay, let me just say something here. Okay, did want to give you a heads up that when I switch cameras, you may not be able to hear me, but don't worry, we're gonna bring you in. Just let me work with these technical difficulties out. I'll be right there. Okay. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go, folks. We're gonna bring you in the presser. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, 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 testing.
Testing, testing, testing.
Hope everybody's doing well.
Doing well. How do I sound?
Oh, you sound awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so the coach basically said, one technical difficulties, we wasn't able to actually ask the question. He had to do it in the chat, but coach basically said the rules are the rules. They held Badger in the corner. He made a little cut route. Oh, let me see here. Jack is up there. Okay.
All right, I'll open up with a question online, Jack, from Cody Queen Media. Wants you to walk us through the underhand touchdown pass and what that was like in conversation under pressure, practice, and practice or just moving in on the release.
Yeah, just moving up in the pocket and escape to the left, and their corner triggered on me, and Chris was right behind him, so I just did what I could to just flip it to him and get it over the corner.
Online again, Max Holbrook, PFNs. Jack, you played your best game to date in Louisville and faced adversity for the first time this season. How does it feel to come together as a team, with the team in the rally?
I mean, it feels great to win. Anytime you can come win, that's obviously the goal every time. And I thought it was a really weird ending for sure, but it's cool that we came together and found a way to win. And that's a team win, and everyone's a part of that. And we got to keep stacking these as we go forward. Offense, and it's not surprising.
Yeah, so Jack Plummer's up now. He's speaking. I was able to get my question asked, which is really cool. It's chat only. They have technical difficulties. I'm not able to actually speak to him directly, but no worries. I'll be able to speak to them during the week. And Jack, basically, the question I asked was the defense much tougher this week as opposed to last week? And he said, yes, it has been.
Yeah, I just we obviously spent 5 years.
Grandma, you're looking really cute today. Only bucket slow.
Guys on staff, probably more than the players with all the transfer stuff, and I knew it was the guys who were freshmen that are still there. It's great to see them, and one of my college roommates is actually a coach now at Louisville, so I mean it's just cool to see a lot of familiar faces, and definitely felt really comfortable.
You know what it takes to be a quarterback in Jeff Brom's scheme. What is your takeaway from Lincoln Kingholz, and what do you think he's going to be able to do with Brom's playbook?
Yes, I watched a little bit, and the whole quarterback.
Yeah, so
good. A bunch of big, stout, sturdy guys, and
Jack Plummer's talking now. Coach finished up.
Well. I wasn't really watching like too hard, but they definitely looked very good. And
yes, so Jack Plummer's talking now.
So if he can learn that and get reps this spring and execute this summer, and I think Coach Brown puts his quarterbacks in a great position to succeed.
Last question for online. Your thoughts on Chris Rowland, what he brings to the table, his ability to just find openings for you when the play seems like it's over.
Yeah, Rowe is first of all, he's a great guy, and then just his feel for the game is really awesome, and I mean, just what he can do after the catch too.
Talking about Chris Rowland, how special a player he is.
Really good job reading those. And,
Chris Rowland.
Yeah, we got to keep finding a way to get him to that.
Thanks, Jack.
Good thing, yes.
No, you're fine.
See here. All right, we're gonna have Louisville come up. See, let me see. Get my question in here. Type it in. Let me see here. Let me just type in. Now let me see. Okay, so Louisville's coming up now. Do you think Colorado Rock is going to win the World Series? It's too early to tell. Too early to tell. Season just got started. It's too early to tell. It's a good question. Definitely too early to tell. Okay, so we have Coach Redmond coming up now. And Jason Bean.
Well, what an exciting game, exciting crowd. Even the big week for spring break and everything else, but the crowd showed up and was really into it all the way through. And I can't be more proud enough for these guys. They fought so hard. This guy sitting next to me, he played all the way to the end and never quit. No one on the team ever quit. Easy to throw us out any point. Nobody did. So I'm just really excited about this group of guys, and we kind of got had a rough start here, but the fight in them, the willingness to never give up, and just the way they battled. I was very proud of this team, and all the credit goes to Coach Beck and finishing the game and one of the first overtimes of the year, I guess, for the league. So it was an interesting finish, but first time going through that type of overtime. So a lot of new things happening. We're learning a lot. We're getting better. I thought our running game was better. I think each snap played a great game, and all the guys they fought really hard. So really proud of them. Hopefully we're just gonna keep battling. There's no quit. We don't quit. And so we're gonna keep fighting. And the beauty of this league is you can stay in contention as long as you play like that. We're gonna keep continuing to play like that. And even better. So I'm excited for the future and ready to get back on the field. Get these guys healed up. They play really hard. Any questions?
What's up, Coach? How are you doing?
Good, man. What's up, bro?
You just touched on it a little bit, but obviously your personal thoughts on the ending of the game,
Yeah.
how it was, and then obviously
Yeah, that's the rules. So I didn't make them up. Unfortunately, that's what we have to play under those rules, and it's unfortunate, obviously, for us. The latter end of that, but that's the rules that we have, and so we're gonna abide by them, and it's unfortunate, but that's what we do.
Yeah, just this is a big game for you. Bouncing back from how things went last week in Florida, could you just speak to maybe what changed for you out there tonight that led to you having such a strong performance tonight?
Yeah, I think as a team we had a good week of practice. I think we kind of focused on the things that we've been doing not so good in the past 2 weeks, and I think we kind of really attacked those things this week. And obviously I think they kind of showed this week. Run the ball better than we have in the past 2 games. So we're continuing to evolve that running game and try to get it to where it needs to be. But it's not the way we wanted to end the game, but we played our tails off. And, we continue fighting, like Coach said. And I'm just ready for next Thursday.
And then for you, Chris, I guess, like, did you kind of go into that overtime period, like with that rule, like at the top of mind at all? Like, like you don't do much of that sort of, I guess, like, like during like overtime periods in practice to kind of like help you guys, make sure that you stick to that rule.
Yeah, we talked about the rules. We talked about what happens at overtime, but that's something out of our control. We can't. All we can do is go out there and play hard, play aggressive, and unfortunately, have two aggressive penalties in the game. That's the way it is, and unfortunately, these guys play really hard. And I hate to see it because we've got 2 games right there could easily gone the other way, and we'd be feeling a lot better about ourselves right now. But that's the situation we're at, and we're not gonna back off. I'm really proud of that team. Just the way they fought. They played really hard, and we had a lot of injuries. A lot of guys had to step up, and this guy had an injury on his foot early in the game, and just kept battling. To me, that just shows the grit this team has. And I'm just really, really proud of this team, even though the record's not showing it right now. But this team will not quit. There's a lot of fight in it. So I'm excited to get back on my field, and I think it's gonna the W's are gonna.
Yeah, we're inside the press conference. We just see.
Taking some different, but it felt like there were more big plays to get going, more winning plays as you call on your side for you guys. Whether defensive sacks, whether big plays you've had. So is that something you kind of felt out there?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we have some great players that have the capability of making big plays, and that's what you have to. This league is you can't. I was kind of telling them before the game and the whole week is this is the UFL is. You got to score points. You can't just get field goals. You got to finish drives and you get the ball in the end zone. And we did a better job. And unfortunately, Orlando just did a little bit better than us tonight.
Hey, Coach. First of all, congratulations on a hard-fought game. You guys, it's a short season. You have to make adjustments very quickly. You've already done that. Offensive line coach and other things. So I know that's got to be difficult. You're showing a good product. You guys are getting close. It was a very, very competitive game. My question is, at the end, was there a little bit of confusion on defense on that last play? It looked like maybe the right personnel maybe were in place in that. Or?
Yeah, I think they eventually got the right personnel and calling or whatever. But pretty chaotic, at the time, whatever. And sometimes those headsets, the communication is not the best, especially when you're towards the end zones and stuff like that, and you're further away. And so a little bit of lack of communication sometimes comes in. But I don't know exactly what happened at the end or whatever. But they're out there, they're playing hard. They made some huge plays to keep them even on the 1 yard line. I mean, they made a huge stop there to give us an opportunity to win the game. And so I'm really, really proud of the defense. They played their tails off.
This is for both of y'all, but I would say this is probably the best offensive performance of the entire season. And most of that actually happened in the second half of this game. So what have you done over the past couple of games, couple of weeks, and then even all the way into that first half, what we were seeing up to finally get some of that offensive output to actually show up on the field?
I think it's just pretty much these guys just pretty much doing what they have to do on offense and executing the plays that they're called. And we've got a lot of great players, especially this guy right here. He's amazing. He's an amazing athlete, amazing player. And I'm just, it's all about executing and who can be the team that doesn't make the most mistakes and execute the plays the best. This is a very competitive league. And, I think we showed that the guys we have out there are very competitive and can make big plays. And I think it'll show them the win column at some point. But unfortunately, it is what it is right now.
Coach, there was obviously a lot of drama in this game and a lot of fun for people at home to watch. Can you take us through the last Orlando touchdown whenever you were having a conversation with them when you chose to challenge it? Obviously went on for a little. Can you kind of walk us through what the conversation with the official was?
Yeah. I mean, they thought that they've already made the decision before about that there was a catch, and I looked up and I was hoping they would kind of take another look at it because I felt like the ball was moving and stuff, and so that's what I asked. And when I saw it, I just threw the flag again. They said that they've already ruled that it was a catch. That's what they said.
Going from online questions, just for the first one, Coach Redmond, take us through what happened with the challenge touchdown pass to KJ Hamler.
Yeah, we're just talking about that. Yeah, I felt like that it was worth the challenge, and they already ruled, up in the booth. And they said that they already called it a catch, and honestly, I thought it wasn't a catch, but so I threw the challenge flag. So, but they've already made the rule before that. So it's, unfortunately, maybe we'll go back and look at it, but that's all I can do.
This speaks for both of you. Just how does it feel getting some offense rhythm into game 3, kind of going into game 4?
I think it's good for us to, finally finish some drives. And I think that's been our issue, the first 2 games, just not being able to finish drives. I think that's kind of, an emphasis this week, getting down there and being able to finish drives and not getting field goals. Because field goals are not going to win this game. So, I think we did a good job of that this week. And, I'm excited for next Thursday.
And last one, Coach Redmond, talk about Cam Gill's performance this week. He's continued to show that he is a key piece in your defense. So just kind of talk about how he has developed into that.
Yeah, Cam and all the defense, I feel like they're getting better every week. They're challenging themselves to be great. And Cam's an amazing athlete, amazing player, and we expect nothing less from him now. He's a dominant player, and I just continue to be a force on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned the big game from Vinny tonight. I guess what changed from the first 2 weeks to this one, both in terms of like your blocking and then how he's been able to how he was able to carry the ball for you all tonight.
Yeah, Vinny did a great job, and I felt like he had a chance to get started tonight. And he's a great athlete, great runner. And we put a couple new guys up front this week, and I think that made a big difference. Kind of get him to that second level. And that's when he does some damage. And so I think that was good, bringing some different guys to the equation, and I think that really helped kind of get him started.
Last question.
Positions on recent numbers. How are you feeling after that all? Obviously, came back and played pretty well, but how are you feeling overall?
I feel fine now. I know I'll be feeling it tomorrow. It's just like I said, it's a disappointing, way to finish a game like that. The way that I played, and the way that the offense played, and the way that the defense played. I think we very much deserved to win that game, but it's just not the way the cards fell tonight. So like I said, we're gonna get back in. We got a short week this week, but I think I'm looking forward to. I think the rest of the team is looking forward to this game on Thursday.
Thank you all so much. We'll be back next.
Okay, just trying to think. All right, so the press conference ends. Let me just go back to that and bingo. Yep. Let me just press conference is over, and overall it was a great win for Orlando. If you're the Kings, you gotta feel a bit deflated. You had an opportunity to win the game. I can't disagree with that call, because both teams had 3 opportunities to score. Then we went to sudden death and they didn't score again. So now you're 4 times going down there. Then the next time, we'll see, the 4th time, I say that, take that back. 3rd time, I believe, was the penalty. Next time was no good. And then the next one was a penalty, they get it. But basically, each team had 4 tries at it and they didn't get it. I agree with the call. 2 penalties back there equals a score. So that was something that you had to kind of see it to believe it. Overall, a great game for the Storm. They pull out a win.
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. I knew it was going to be a tight game. I had a feeling it was going to be a tough game. It is very difficult for you to beat a team twice in a season. It's just, that's how it is. They study film on you. They watch you. They know the pace of some of the guys. They know your tendencies more. They can prepare better the next time. And I would even have to say it's more of an advantage to the team that loses than it is to the team that wins, because you can go back to the drawing board, reassess, reanalyze, and go for it again. So it's never easy. Let me just take a look here. I'm thinking about what question did I ask Jack again? Oh, I typed it in the chat. Yes, let me just try to think. It'll come back to my mind again, but I was able to go ahead and ask 3 questions, so I'll take that. Again, the talking was not working, the audio for them, and I had to type everything in the chat. I kind of asked a repeat question, but by the time I had finished typing in the question, someone had entered in like 5 seconds before me. So I'm not gonna get mad at myself on that. It's chat is a little different than it is speaking, but we got it in there, and it just slips my mind what question I asked. I had asked Jack Plummer. Let me see. Yes. So it was definitely an interesting game. Definitely something you don't see every day. Shootout. The team didn't get it 4 tries in a row. It definitely was different. Let me see something here. Let me just take a look here. Okay. All right. So no sweat. I'll get it later. But man, what an interesting game. They're 3-0. That's what matters. Go Storm. Let me, in fact, put that up there. There you go. There you go, Storm. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. I agree with Coach. A win is a win is a win. It wasn't. I thought they played actually pretty good. It's just that you're playing a competitor that you saw recently, and because you saw them recently, they played you even tougher. And they're a team that's now 0-3, but they were 0-2, so they needed to get a win. And they was not able to get that done. Not on this clock, not on this watch. So, that was really cool. I was able to bring you into the press conference. Again, they didn't have it so I can actually ask the question. I had to chat it. I had to go ahead and chat it in, but I did. So by any means necessary, I kind of asked a repeated question, which I usually don't do of somebody else. But by the time I had finished typing in, he just finished putting it in 5 seconds before me. And it was basically about that last play and just how the ending of the game was to go to sudden death. Both teams didn't get it on the fourth try in a row. Then there was 2 holding penalties, pass interference penalty, I should say, 2 of them, because of the second one being a pass interference, they award you the points. So 2 penalties equals the points, and that points was a deciding factor to keep the game so it doesn't play all night, and to keep the injuries down too. I agree with that rule because each team had 4 tries, and they were going to keep going and keep going and keep going around that circle until someone scored, and you don't know how long that could have been.
So 2 defensive penalties equals a conversion success. And because of that 2 points, they won the game being the Orlando Storm. So Orlando Storm is 3-0. Unfortunately for the Louisville Kings, they fall to 0-3. Now, it's not the panic button just yet if you're the Louisville Kings, because at the time, Arlington Renegades was 0-4, and they came back and won the championship. So you're not out of it, but you're getting close to that point. As good as they've played in spots, they haven't really played a consistent game. They've made a couple of mental errors, and they seem to hurt themselves. As great coach Ted Ginn Jr. said, you can't shoot yourself in the foot. And what they've done is they played good football in spurts, but they found an opportunity to shoot themselves in the foot at the most unopportune time. And that is what's hurt them, being the Louisville Kings. So they're sitting at 0-3. They haven't played like a team that's 0-3, but they have to clean those things up. At least the good news is Jason Bean, he seemed like he's the starter. You know, I will give you my assessment. Chandler Rogers, the QB, he's got speed and everything, but he second guesses himself. And he had an opportunity to actually just run it in and get a score, or throw it to the guy all in the right-hand corner to get a score. He decides not to throw it to the guy in the right-hand corner that was wide open, or run it, which would have probably been the better option because he was already running. He was close to the line of scrimmage anyway. He decides to do option 3, which is throw it to the guy who's double covered. And fortunately for him, it wasn't picked, but it was passed, the pass was broken up, and you missed an opportunity there. And it worked out because, the Storm won the game. But this was a close game. I predicted it to be a close game. It's hard to beat a team twice, and it's even harder to beat a team that you faced last week, and you have to face them again. Great thing with the Storm, they won. This was a tough challenge, week 3. Now they're off to the races to the next game. So they didn't play their best game. I felt like they got lucky, quite frankly, got lucky on a couple. Jack Plummer played very good, but there was a couple of plays that scratched your head. As a quarterback, I learned this from Marcus Floyd, a former NFL cornerback, that is. As a quarterback, you never throw across your body. And he taught me that. Jack Plummer did exactly that. He threw it across his body. And not only did he throw it across his body, he threw it right in the middle of the field, and the ball just seemed to float up there forever. Luckily, it just got knocked down, but that ball should have really been picked. That was not a really smart play, in my view, because you just didn't have the play. Don't force it in the middle of the field across your body. They lucked out on that one. It fell harmlessly to the ground, but it could have easily been picked. So Jack Plummer did play very good, but there was some opportunity. Now, granted, he made that great play where he did that run and flip. That was an outstanding play. So you saw the good and the room for improvement from Jack Plummer. I thought he also had Badger open. He just threw it a little bit behind him, and Badger tried to get it, but it was just a little bit too far out of his reach. So, overall, if I'm the Storm, I'm happy we won the game because you face a tough competitor. Things happen in this game. They delayed the start of the game because they were watching the live stream of Artemis come back. And I watched it too because you had no choice. It was on Fox, and they delayed this. They delayed it for about 12, 15 minutes to start of this game and they actually showed that the Artemis on the big screen. So they were watching what we were watching, but it delayed the game. And then halftime, they showed some more footage after they landed successfully. Thank God. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a moment. But halftime, they showed additional footage of them, because they showed until they landed safely. Then halftime, they showed some of the footage that they didn't show at that time where they were getting out and things of that nature. I'd have to say rest in peace to
the Challenger. I remember that I was a kid and that shuttle went up, and unfortunately that was a disaster, and it made about 1 minute and 33 seconds and it exploded. So I've actually seen live footage where it went catastrophic. So I watched that Artemis go down. I'm glad to watch it go safely down. I was a little nervous in the beginning. I'm not going to lie to you, because in the beginning of it descending down, 2 of the parachutes were not fully open. And then as it came down more and more, finally the 2 of them opened up. I was like, all right, that's good. And then the third one popped open. It just seemed like maybe because it was wrinkled up really good, it just didn't engage right away, but it was kind of dropping for a while before it finally opened. Thank goodness it opened up, because that is falling down thousands of feet per second. Thank goodness it opened up. And then when it opened up, all 3 of them opened up fully, and it was a good time between it opening fully to actually hitting the water. I felt a lot more confident they were going to land safely. So thank God I did not watch the catastrophe, which I have live watched the catastrophe. Again, rest in peace to the Challenger. And I even have a model of it right here. Let me grab it for you, show it to you. Yes. You're only getting this type of stuff on the Allen Alpha Sports Hook show. But let me show you this to you here. Rest in peace, Challenger. Yep, Challenger. You can see it right there. Let me just get it in frame here. There it is. Space Shuttle Challenger. Rest in peace. These are heroes right here. So I have watched one of these not go as planned. And that shuttle should have never taken off, by the way. You know, I give NASA credit that they fixed their mistake, but they should, I'm going to say it right here on live TV. They should not have taken off. You knew the O-rings were bad. You knew it wasn't good. You were clout chasing. I'm talking about NASA. And it ended catastrophic. You were clout chasing. You had all this media there for this launch. You knew you shouldn't have taken off. It was too cold. But because you were getting that clout, you had all this media. You're like, all right, screw it. We'll just do it. You knew the O-rings weren't good. Catastrophe. Rest in peace to Challenger. Here we go. We just get the. Here we go. Let me just. There we go. It's a better. Rest in peace. We will never forget. I can't believe over 30 years ago, I watched this tragedy live. Yeah, I keep this in my office. A little bit out of frame from where I'm at. A little bit out of frame, so I wanted to bring this over for you guys. But yeah, this is... So I was glad that they did show that, and I'm glad I didn't watch a catastrophe. But I was a little nervous when the parachutes didn't fully open. I'm not going to lie to you. Space Shuttle Challenger. Show you one more time. There we go. Let me just try to get the light beam out of the way. There we go. So and I'm not covering up anybody's face. Let me just bring it to the right here. There you go. Don't clout chase, man. Do the right thing. Don't clout chase. Don't clout chase. May they all rest in peace from Challenger. I watched that live as a kid. Can't believe 30 plus years later, I'm live streaming and showing you
what I have in my office here because I dedicated that to them. I never met any of the astronauts. One of them was a teacher, and it just, the crazy thing about that was they opened it up for somebody, a civilian. Usually it takes years and years and years. You have to have every single engineering degree, every single math degree you could think of and beyond in order for you to qualify to be an astronaut. This time they had made an exception. They were going to let somebody, who won, which was not an easy competition. It was like 1 out of 30,000. The teacher won. She was not a quote unquote certified astronaut like others, but she won this award, and they gave her a crash course. She went up there, and unfortunately it ended in tragedy. I'm just going to let you know how I feel about that. They should have not taken off. Those O-rings are not good. NASA knew this, and they were trying to clout chase. Let's just say it for what it is. They were trying to clout chase, and it ended in catastrophe. Glad that did not happen today. Artemis landed safe and sound. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. But I will not forget. I watched that. You can go to YouTube and watch Space Shuttle Challenger as a kid, watching that live. There you go. So these things that take off, they there's no guarantees. Shout out to the Challenger. There you go. There you go, folks. I watched that live too. But yes, so today was a great day. They landed safely, Artemis. And again, I was nervous that the parachutes did not fully engage, but they finally did. Thank God they landed safely. So I didn't mind watching it. I didn't mind watching it. They delayed the game because of it. And it ended with the Storm win. The Storm wins 3-0 on 2 pass interference penalties. 2 pass interference penalties equals a successful try. I agree with that rule because they may have played on forever. Each team had 4 chances to score. They didn't get it. And they said because of the rule, they get it. And it was, legitimately pass interference on both of those calls. So shout out to definitely the Orlando Storm for bringing us into the press conference immediately following the game. They had some technical difficulties on their end, so I wasn't able to actually ask the question. I had to ask the questions all in chat. Everybody, not just me, all the members and media that was doing the Zoom had to type in their questions in chat. If you were physically at the game, you were able to ask a question there in the press conference. The game was in Louisville, which I've been to Louisville before. Really cool state. I recommend you go visit. Yes, I recommend you go visit. And I recommend for you to go ahead and watch Space Shuttle Challenger on YouTube. Again, may they rest in peace. Just see here. Yep, the Storm got it. Storm got it 3-0. That's a big win. I knew it. I knew it was going to be a tight, contested game. And it was. It was a tight, contested game and then some. I didn't expect the shootout. And both teams had it ample times. I totally agree with the rule. Like, I know the keyboard warriors, well, they should play till they win. And, okay, but, Dino said it right. Whenever somebody gets hurt, you can't play all night. You got to end the game at some point. They have broadcasts. They have time constraints. People have, they have overtime and all that. What ended up happening, why the Orlando Storm won, because there was 2 defensive penalties on the sudden, it was 1 in sudden death, 1 in the regular time, but because they had 2 pass interference in the overtime, the shootouts equals a successful try. And because of that, they got the 2 points. They win the game. That is the Orlando Storm. And the Orlando Storm did not have any defensive penalties in any of the attempts that the Louisville Kings went for. So 3-0, big win for the Storm. It is a crushing defeat if you're the Kings because you finally had some offensive, your offense was moving better than the other 2 games. You finally was able to get something done offensively, and you still don't get the win, albeit Jason Bean did play really well. I really don't see them starting anybody other than them. I feel like Chandler Rogers had an opportunity to kind of get that job, but he got a little gun shy, and that's just what I'm assessing and seeing, and that's why Jason Bean was in there, and he did really well. I think he was the spark they needed. He played well. If I'm the coach, I'm putting him back out there. Jason Bean, that is. But props to Jason Bean for answering my question. That was a question I asked him is how would it feel to now have some offensive continuity? He answered that. And I'm going to try to see whenever they put the press conference up to share with you guys. But yeah, awesome night. Storm is 3-0. Let's see if the Renegades can make it 3-0. That's 2 teams that cover the Orlando Storm and the Dallas Renegades. For the first time, both teams, well, now they're 3-0. Or the Storm is now first place. But the 2 top teams in the league, yours truly is covering both of them. That is the Arlington Renegades and the Orlando Storm. This is why you don't give up on the UFL, because what happened was the Orlando Guardians was a team I was covering. They did away with the Orlando Guardians. I had an option at that point to just walk away from the league. I did not, and I'm glad I did not. I said I'm going to continue to keep supporting UFL, even though my team in my backyard was gone. I decided to cover the at that time it was called the Arlington Renegades. They switched it to the Dallas Renegades. So I covered the Arlington Renegades for 2 seasons. Now the Orlando Storm came in out of nowhere. So it's only fitting I covered the team that's right here. And I wasn't going to give Arlington or now Dallas Renegades the cold shoulder. So I'm covering 2 teams this season. Yes, props to Coach T-Buck. Definitely props to Coach T-Buck. Absolutely. That was a bright spot of covering Orlando Guardians, was covering, Coach T-Buck. Coach T-Buck, I covered and interviewed more than anybody up until Coach Bob Stoops. Coach Bob Stoops ended up taking the lead because I covered the Arlington Renegades for 2 full seasons. And I also covered them when they won the championship. So over that time, Coach Bob Stoops ended up getting the new record as far as interviews that I've actually done. But Coach T-Buck had it locked down for a while, and Coach Bob Stoops now has that record. But props to Coach T-Buck. Always a pleasure. Always great to deal with him. Coach T-Buck, he's doing big things. I really appreciate Coach T-Buck. Yeah, he's definitely got a great personality. Really cool. And that's the cool thing about Coach T-Buck is that I also covered him when he was inducted into the college, Hall of Fame, the Cotton Ball Hall of Fame. I covered that event all the way in Texas. That was a really cool event. And I also covered the pro where Coach T-Buck was there as well. I was able to interview him. So, yeah, it's really cool running into Coach T-Buck. And it's, that's the really cool thing about him. He's a great guy. And, I don't have to introduce myself or anything. Coach T-Buck. But definitely is a cool guy. And shout out to Jalik Amir. Man, did an outstanding performance during the Orlando Storm. I see him jumped in here. Shout out to, Jalik Amir. So definitely you guys need to follow these people. Yes, definitely need to follow all of the entertainers that performed at the Orlando Storm. I've had the pleasure of interviewing, and that was really, really awesome. That's really cool. Shout out to Road to Halftime, who set that up, that if you win an audition, you get to perform during the halftime. That was really cool. That was really cool. So yes, props to Jalik Amir. Props to Coach Matthew Volleyball. Yes. And you know, it's you got to support the league. You got to support the league. It's really great, the UFL. And you'll really be surprised of how, if you support the league, how it'll come back to you. You'll meet some really awesome people. Just like Yusuf said, he met Coach T-Buck. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach T-Buck showed up at a game, you know, because they never played in Intercoast Stadium, which is not far from Camping World. They never played there. And I imagine how things would have looked so different if they did play there. But props to Coach T-Buck, great guy. Jalik Amir, props to him. Coach Matthew Volleyball. Yeah, and coach props to Coach Shiver. And that's, man, appreciate you all joining in. So yes, it's getting kind of late now, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. But the nice thing is, I'll be covering an event tomorrow morning. I'll be back again. Please continue to follow and keep an eye on things on social media. I will try to put up these press conferences once I get the copy of them. And definitely that'd be really cool. And I would like to get a copy of it too, because I had to type it in the chat and wasn't able to kind of get the feel of the answer because I wasn't able to talk directly to the person. But it was technical difficulties on their end. And no problem. We was able to at least get the question asked via chat. Artemis is back. So that's cool. So you guys all have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourself. Keep going after your dreams. And I love what Kevin Nova, one of the entertainers, said. He said, hey, people are not going to see your vision until you paint it for them. People are not going to see your vision until you paint it for them. So that means you got to keep going. So it says, Alan, hopefully we can pack that stadium next home game. I'm trying to get more people from Tampa to go to Storm. Yes, that's what we need. Pack the stadium. Come out there and support. Just for the listening audience, you know, I live in Brandon, which is hour and 35 minutes away, 2 hours with traffic. Luckily for me, since the games have been later, I go wood, haven't had the real Orlando traffic. Made it there about an hour and 30, 35 minutes, which is sweet. But typically it's about a two hour and like 15-minute drive when traffic is the way it normally is. But because it's been later games, that's worked to my advantage. But yeah, you guys need to come out. It's great football. The tickets are not expensive. And on top of that, they usually have a giveaway every game. And, you know, Jack Plummer, he autographed the football and he gave it away. And it was an authentic game football, which is fantastic. He gave it to a kid. You got to be in it to win it. You're not going to get that football unless you're there at the game. And you get to see outstanding performers, Kevin Nova, Jalik Amir. You know, you get a chance to see Guan Guti. Let me see if I can do it off the top of my head. Guan Guti, Jalik Amir. Man, I got to pull it up. I don't want to forget anybody. Let me go ahead. Yes. Helen, that's right. Helen Singer Dancer. That's her Instagram, Helen Singer Dancer. Don't forget her. Yep. J Mai, don't forget him, the real J Mai. He jumped on earlier, by the way. And official Queen, Royal Music Queen, the rapper, the Queen. They were all fantastic, man. And also Jalik Amir and Kevin Noah. You know what I really, really loved about all the performers is they really, truly appreciated the opportunity. They appreciated getting that stage. They were over the moon using a
reference of what we had here, the landing of Artemis. They were over the moon happy, and just seeing that enthusiasm and that raw, like, breakthrough happiness and joy. It was awesome for me to be there and just see that in them. Props to all of them. And I did miss one performer, not by purpose. It was just that I never got a chance to meet her. Let me make sure I get her artist name correct as well. And I never got a chance to meet her. It wasn't like, we just never met. They could have been practicing another part. I didn't know that. That was the violinist, Iman Musika. So, yeah, I thought I had gotten everybody, but there was one person I missed, and I didn't know that till they were performing. But, yes, it was nothing, no disc job on my end. So, shout out to Iman. What a day, man. That was great. You guys missed a great day if you didn't come out to the game. Don't miss another one. That's what I tell you. Don't miss another one. Don't miss another one. In fact, you know what? Let me do that. Let me in fact do that. I'm going to do that real quick here. Can't leave my people out. Let me just take a look here. Okay. In fact, I'm going to do that before we sign off here. Let me, in fact, do that right now. Give me one moment here. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. I'm gonna bring you exclusive footage there. Let me just make sure I got them all here. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna show you real quick each one of their interviews. Guanguti, that's Gutii. Gutii. Here we go. See here. Okay. Make sure I got them all in here. Okay. Yeah, you guys need to come out. You need to come out. Yeah, they put on a good show. That's right. I mean, that was man, that was awesome. That was fantastic to watch them perform and talk to them, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful game, wonderful experience. See, times like that, you really got to make sure you come and support so that the league continues to thrive, because that's the best defense you got, is to support. And if you come out and support, because I'm one of those proponents at this point. As much as I want this league to survive, they have to open up in places where they're wanted. If you're going to give it a year or two and then no one comes out to the games, or very little, you have to move on, because this league isn't loaded with that type of money. You don't have billionaire owners. Well, actually, Mike Rapoli, they say, is a billionaire, but you don't have 32 billionaires, I would say. You don't have that in this league. And meaning, they can't afford to just have money just wasted season after season after season. And I definitely don't think you should just keep promoting if somebody's not going to show up.
All right, so this is Alan from the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show, joined with rapper Queen.
Hello.
And she's about to perform in front of a lot of people. What are your thoughts about you going out there in this crowd and entertaining them?
I'm excited. I'm so excited just to give the energy, just to feel the energy from the crowd. And yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Yes, so, you know, how long did they give you for the performance so that people know?
So I think we all have 1 minute and 30 seconds, but we're doing it all as a cohesive team. So shout out to the Road to Halftime show and all the artists. They are all phenomenal. So I can't wait for everybody to see.
And talk about you getting this opportunity for the UFL to reach out to you and say, you know, you're going to be performing.
Yeah, so what happened was, it was definitely like unexpected. Shout out to my manager, Leo. He was like, girl, you want to do this audition? And I'm like, oh, I don't even think I'm ready. But I said, you know what, let's do it. Did it and won. So it's just jump out there. If you're trying to chase a dream, just do it.
Just go out there and do it. And you're going to be performing. And what can we expect during the performance? What, you're going to move the crowd?
Charisma, energy, and a straight royal activities. That's what you can expect.
I don't know, one of your biggest supporters is your mom. Talk about her and her support.
Oh yes, my mom is my everything. She's not here right now because we have a family emergency right now, but my mom is literally my backbone, so I love her. Shout out to my mommy.
All right.
Yes.
And definitely, I know you're going to bring down the house, have a great performance,
yes,
and go after it.
Thank
can you tell about the fans that to follow you?
Oh, you can follow me at Official Queen Royal Music. Again, that is Official Queen Royal Music. And if you click the link in my click the link in my bio, it'll take you to my Linktree, my SoundCloud, everything to follow my music as well.
Appreciate you, Queen. Go get them.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Take care now. This is Alan from the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show, joined with chime, and he's going to be performing here at the Orlando Storm. So what are your thoughts about performing in front of all these people?
Man, it's going to be crazy. This is my first time, especially for the Orlando Storm. Hopefully not the last time. So yeah, and shout out to Road to Halftime. Yes, sir.
Yes, and talk about you getting this opportunity. You know, it's not easy to do that in the music industry. Talk about that feeling.
Man, it was definitely crazy when I got that call back, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm about to perform here at the Orlando Storm. And I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. So yeah, it was definitely a crazy feeling. Yes, sir.
And for people who see you today, what can they expect to see?
Oh, I'm gonna bring the energy. You already know it's gonna be hype from you. Your boy Jeremiah. So yeah, you already know. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. And then tell them how people can follow you and keep in contact with your music.
You can find my Instagram at @therealjeremiah_. And I just had a new song come out on April 1st called Sorry Ain't Enough. Hey, sorry ain't enough. So yeah, go check me out. Yes, sir. I'm out on all platforms.
That's awesome. And are you gonna be performing that today?
Of course.
Okay. So here at the Orlando Storm, we're gonna get a preview of the new song coming out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Awesome. Go get them. Best wishes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. This is Alan from the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show, joined with Juan. He's going to be performing here at Interco Stadium, the Orlando Storm. So tell us, what are your thoughts before you go out there in front of this big crowd?
Well, first of all, super grateful for Road to Halftime, who organized this really epic performance, and obviously very honored to be sharing the stage with amazing artists. So yeah, on my end, we're going to be playing guitar. We're going to do some rock shredding for you all.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's really cool. How long have you been playing the guitar now?
Well, I actually started with violin when I was very little. Mm-hmm. So I started playing classical music, and I would play in orchestras. I would also play solo. But then I switched to electric guitar. I also play acoustic, but more to rock guitar.
Wow, so it sounds like you really love it. And what could the people out there expect to see?
Yeah, so today we're expecting, the show has a full combination of artists that are very varied. Some people are great at hip hop, some people are great at Latin music. On my end, we're gonna play some rock music. I'm gonna be performing, heavy, distorted, rock guitar solo, some tapping, So it's a combination of elements. On my end, it's gonna be more rock music.
And what are some of the artists that you look up to that inspire you to be the best you can be?
Oh, well, there's a lot of inspiration coming from a lot of places. But really, what it all started, for me, was classical music. All the great composers, Bach, Mozart, Vivaldi, Beethoven, Paganini, Handel. But then there's also classic rock. To me, classic rock is a huge thing. Bands like Tesla, Whitesnake, Guns N' Roses, artists like Carlos Santana, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, all that stuff.
That's fantastic. And how can this crowd follow you after today and keep up with your music?
Of course, yes. So on every platform, I appear as Juan Guti. And Guti, you spell it Gutii, 1 T and 2 I's. And on Instagram as Juan Guti Official. So you can, there's also Spotify. There's my original music in there. All my collaborations. I've been blessed to collaborate with a lot of amazing artists. So the all that stuff, it's on all streaming platforms. And yeah, so as Juan Guti on everything, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff.
Juan Guti, make sure you guys follow him. Go out there and do a fantastic job here at the Orlando Storm. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, and super grateful with God for this epic performance coming tonight.
Yes. You got to go get him. Yes. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Alan.
Thank you. Thank you. Alan from the Allen Alford Sports Talk Show, showing with musical sensation Helen, and tell us about you getting this opportunity coming out here to the Orlando Storm.
Well, I'm super thankful to Road to Halftime for putting on such an awesome collection of artists and dancers, and I'm feeling super blessed to be performing with them. And I'm super excited to share my new song Café with the entire audience today, and I appreciate coming out.
Yes, and it's going to be a big crowd. What do you have to say about the crowd coming out? Is there going to be any nerves or jitters?
I think that's inevitable. I think all artists are a little bit nervous on game day, but at the same time, I think it's a happy nerves. I think it's more of excitement more than anything else.
Yes. And what can the crowd expect to see from you when you go out there and do your thing?
Well, Café is a multilingual track, so it's in English, Portuguese, and Spanish. It's a super upbeat, fun song with lots of dancing, so I would hope that everybody gets up and dances with the music.
Yes, and definitely we're excited about it. And where can people follow you and reach out to you?
Yes, so you can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, and all other music platforms at Helen Blondell, and of course on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at Helen Singer Dancer.
Go get them. You're going to go ahead and knock it out.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. You're welcome. Tell us what we can expect to see at halftime.
A whole lot of energy, man. Like the hat say, the energy is right here, and just a raw boom bop hip hop, boom bap hip hop. We keeping it old school, we keeping it raw, we keeping it rugged, but clean. but just high energy, man. A lot of electricity is gonna happen, which is fitting for since we playing for the store, right?
Yeah.
But it's a great collaboration of people coming together, and a lot of different genres, dance routines, and good leadership. Yeah. So I really feel like the crowd is going to enjoy and benefit from a lot of that. Even just sitting out there for a little bit and introducing ourselves to a few people who are in the stands, man, the fans have great energy. So, we're expecting to definitely play and capitalize with that a little bit, and get them to be a part of the show. Yeah, that's my job.
Yes. And talk about the UFL, the Orlando Storm, reaching out to you for this opportunity and making this happen.
Yeah, man, it was they actually reached out to Road to Halftime, and I auditioned for Road to Halftime. It's my second time audition, and I got it this time. So I was so grateful for that. And just Road to Halftime, they reached out to them, and they've been putting on great opportunities for the city. And seeing as though that they had the season 2 coming up, they threw it right in there with with our first show, the Orlando Magic game, and now season 2 is a 2-part thing. So it's awesome, man. I got in on the right year. Yes, sir. I'm just grateful, man. Just grateful. Lucky, just timing and opportunity, man.
And you didn't give up. You went ahead and persevered. Talk about what someone else can do if they're in that spot to get them to move forward.
Oh, man. Yeah. Unwavering faith in yourself will take you just about anywhere, man. The delusion that you can do anything can take you just about anywhere you want to be. And I have definitely been diagnosed with that. So, it's just relentless. I've been on this road since I was 10 years old. So, and nothing's ever deterred me from it. So really, it's just all these years of staying loyal to myself and believing that I can do these things is what got me here. So as long as you got that, man, feel free to do whatever it is that crosses your mind, experiment, play with different things, and people will recognize your greatness in their time. Sometimes you just got to wait for them to catch up. That's all.
That's right.
That's all.
Yes. And what are some artists that you look up to that have maybe motivated you?
Oh man, KRS-One, Rakim, Wu-Tang Clan, Kendrick Lamar, just lyrical, high energy, Busta Rhymes, man, come on. These are all heavy influences of mine. And I really feel like once you hit play, you're gonna see it, So definitely, man, that's my box, man. And unique, high energy individuals is who I try to follow.
Okay, that's awesome. And speaking of follow, how can people follow you and keep up with your music and your career?
Yeah, for sure. I'm on everything as Jalliq Amir. That's JALLIQQAMIR, 2 words. Or we could just make it easy and give you a clean shot right there at the QR code. That right there will take you wherever you need to go, straight to my link tree and everywhere from there, So just give that a click right there. All right.
That's right. Go ahead and give them a click and follow.
That's right.
Really
Try
appreciate
to make it easy.
Bring down the house there and do a fantastic job.
That's what I'm
Yes,
going
sir. You got it.
Yes, sir.
Best wishes. Thank you so much.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. Thank you. So this is Alan from the Allen Alpha Sports Talk Show, joining Kevin. And he's going to be out here at the UFL Orlando Storm performing. He's about to go out there. And what are your thoughts right now?
Man, just doing this big for the city, doing this big for Road to Halftime, doing this big for myself. There's a lot of people out there that's counting on me to make this dream into a reality. There's a lot of sleepless nights that went into this. So this moment right here is surreal. This moment right here is everything that we've been working for, and it's crazy because it's life. We're living it right now. So when they ask how you living, we're right here, man. We performing for the newest team in the UFL. We representing Florida. We putting on for independent artists. So honestly, it's not even a feeling that could be compared, man. It's unmatched.
Yeah, and definitely I know that being an artist is not easy. Talk about how tough it is to get to this point.
Just straight determination, dedication. People ain't gonna see a vision until you paint it for them. So you just got to keep on keeping that paintbrush strong and don't let up on yourself, because there's a lot of people that are gonna try to tell you, or rather tell me, I should say, what I can and can't do. And we got to learn as individuals that that's not what it's about. It's about you make your own path, and the footsteps, they might already be there, but at one point you venture off in your own direction. So, don't let any of the doubt ever get in your way, because that's not what got me here. What got me here is fearlessness, having my faith in God to be able to get me here, and my support, my team, my family, my love for the game, my love for hip hop. To me, those are the biggest things. And that's what makes Kevin Nova the person that I am, So I'm just thankful to be able to have this opportunity. Road to Halftime, Orlando Storm, Orlando Magic, these are big, big things. And, even though it might seem like I'm an independent artist, these are the steps that we take as independent artists to be able to reach that next level.
Yes. And what can they expect to see from you today and hear from you when you go out there perform?
Beast mode. That's all I'm going to say. Beast mode, man. This is just raw energy in its purest form. This is one of those moments where I'm going to let it all out. I'm going to leave it all out there, and I'm going to give that energy all back to the city, because you know what? Every time I step out and I show Orlando love, they give it right back to me tenfold. So I'm going to make sure that this is one of those days that whenever I step, it's 10 toes down and it's for the city. So I just want to be able to leave it all out there on the field. Like I said, this is a new team, a new organization, but we're going to be coming in here like we own the place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. I'm excited to see it. And, tell us about what some artists that you had admired growing up.
Man, it's tough because there's so many great artists out there. I'm a fan of music, but if I had to just categorize it into a top 5, I'll definitely say J. Cole, Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, Pac, Jay-Z. I'll just leave it at that, but there's a lot more that I'm leaving out. But I'm inspired by true lyricists. I'm inspired by people that indulge into this on a deeper level. to where it's like not just music, it's their life, and they're putting it on wax. So those are the people that I look up to, and even beyond hip hop, I'm a fan of music in general, because without that, I feel like we wouldn't be here. Those vibrations are what keep us moving. That's what keeps our emotions intact. So I'm just like, again, thankful to be representing the culture of hip hop, the culture of music, to be on this field, and some amazing people that we're around that are making this happen. And without them, I wouldn't be here right now. So I just want to be able to play my part and give my all here.
That's fantastic. And tell us how we can follow and keep up with your career and beyond.
Man, Kevin Nova on all platforms. I just dropped a new single called No Other Way, and that's what I'm going to be performing tonight. So you can check that on Spotify and Apple Music. Just like Jalik. Go ahead and take a second real quick. You can zoom into that. It's got my name on it too, just in case you forgot. But this is the link right here to my website, kevinnova.com. You'll see everything on there. Music videos, show dates, merchandise, whatever you need, I got it. And we just taking this up to the top. So be a part of the journey.
That's right. Be a part of the journey. Make sure you follow him. Go to the website, kevinnova.com. He's going to do a great thing today and perform here at the Orlando Storm. Let's go. We got this.
That's the plan.
That's right. All right. Thank you. Welcome. A pleasure. One second. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That is fantastic. That is, man, they don't get better than that. So you guys need to come out. On that note, I got 6 out of 7. But I'll try to see if I can run it to number 7 again, and we'll make that happen. But in the meantime, you guys need to make sure you support the UFL. Go to theufl.com and support any way possible. Definitely, let me, in fact, put that there, theufl.com. Yes. Let me show that to you here. Okay. Yes, theufl.com. theufl.com. On that note, definitely, it's been fantastic having this show tonight. You guys joining me in, whether it's for a couple moments, for much longer, I tremendously appreciate you. Definitely, I'll be back again next Friday. Should be 9:30 p.m. We did start a little bit later because of, the Artemis, the delay, and plus I wanted to bring you in the press conference in, and I want to have you waiting too long for that. But 9:30 should be the show time. But if anything changes, I'll let you know. Stay connected on social media. Definitely do that. That's your best bet. Facebook, Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Instagram, Alan Alford. That's ALAN ALFORD. X, Alan Alford. And the website, of course, Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. That is where you will be able to go ahead and get everything there. All of the past interviews, it will be right there on the website. So definitely check it out there. Let me see. We got another comment here. Yep, best game of the year. One of the best games I've ever seen in a while. It was. It went to three teams on each side. They didn't get it. Fourth one, neither team got it. Had the two pass interference penalties. The Kings, that is, got them on the Orlando. Because you had 2 penalties, they gave that a successful try, which ended the game, which I agree with. You can't play all night long. I know this is not street ball. This is UFL, professional football. They don't want somebody getting hurt. That's what Dean Blandino, he's
explained, and I agree with that. That makes a lot of sense. Each team had 4 tries plus, and it was a great game. I knew it was going to be a close game. I knew it. I absolutely said it several times. It was going to be a close game. It was actually even closer than I thought. And nail biter, and they ended up winning. Great game on both sides. No team quit. Just somebody had to win the game. Great game. Great game. That's why you need to come out and watch some more games for sure. And that is fantastic. Really appreciate all of you guys. You guys are wonderful. And so, having said that, have a fantastic weekend. Be blessed, be well, take care of yourself. Definitely, as Kevin Nova said, people are not going to see your vision until you paint it for them. So keep painting that paintbrush and keep painting that vision for what you want to achieve in life. I will see you next Friday. Keep connecting on social media. Take care of yourself. I will make sure I'll be back. Be blessed, be well, and we're going to end the show on this outro. Take care. Good night, everyone.
Listen.